All right, everybody. Hey, welcome to Note Night in America. We are honored to have you guys join us here tonight. We've got a lot of great stuff to cover tonight with you guys, and I think you're going to take some great notes. And I guarantee it, if you take action or you're buying real estate deals, whether it's notes or physical properties, tonight's webinar is going to have an impact, an immediate impact on your bottom line by not only saving you time, but also saving you a ton of money and help you make a lot more deals. So anyway, guys and gals, honored to have you guys here on Note Night in America. If it's your first time joining us, hey, kudos to joining us here. Glad to have you. If you've missed some of the previous ones, they are recorded. The red button, I'm making sure the red button is, yep, we are rocking and rolling out there. It is recorded. Glad to have you all join us from all across the country. We have a variety of real estate investors, seasoned, brand new, people new to note investing. We've got flavors of all types join us here. But anyway, guys, I'm your host, Scott Carson out of Austin, Texas. You can always catch the replays by going to weclosenotes.tv. That is our YouTube channel, and you can catch a ton of videos on there, not only for Note Night in America and the playlist, but also our podcast out there as well. Make sure you hit the subscribe button while you're there so you're alerted to all the videos that we have available that we upload there. We also, like I said, we do have Note Night in America is a podcast. We do take these episodes and upload them pretty regularly to all of your favorite podcasting platforms. You can always listen to Note Night in America on there. And then, of course, you can always listen to our 50 megawatt blowtorch of the Note Closers show as well. And I have to give big kudos to all of you guys that listen to those shows. Thank you so much. Last month, we surpassed the 1 million download mark for podcasting. So it's in a 3-year period. It's just over 3 years. Thank you to everybody who helped making that possible. Those that listened, it was a big goal when I started off for that and thought it would take a long time to get there, and really surprised that we got there so fast. So thank you guys so much. 1 million downloads as a podcaster. So anyway, and we've got over 30 million plus listeners across our nationwide syndicated radio network. But anyway, guys, for those of you guys that are going through, that went through our virtual note buying workshop 2 weeks ago, we do have this Wednesday night, we do have our 4-week coaching. Not quite coming to a close, but getting pretty close this Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Stay tuned. Join in. If you've missed it, hey, the replays, we've shared the replays for those that are interested in that as well, that went through the class. And of course, in just a couple of weeks, 11 days, we have our next one-day note training, Note Weekend. You go to noteweekend.com, get signed up there for just $49 and learn the Cliff Notes version of note investing. If you're brand new to the paper game, that's a great place for you to dip your toes in the water. See if notes are a feel for you, if it's something you want to dive in head first into. A lot of our students call it the Cliff Notes version of note investing because we cover a lot there in 8 hours. So awesome. Glad to have you there. Welcome to Florida. Hey, Matthew, good to see you, buddy. Not in Florida, I'm in Austin, baby, but that's all right. I'll have some attorney fees to pay ASAP. Awesome. Good stuff to hear that, man. But anyway, it's hard to believe. Can you believe it's less than 75 days, 74 days till Christmas? And we have one more virtual note buying workshop, one more of our 3-day virtual workshop set for December 11th, 12th, and 13th. You can find out which banks and borrowers are naughty or nice. It is going to be an interesting month. I will tell you that in December, based on the phone calls that we're having and the conversations and the LinkedIn connections and get a lot of conversation with the banks on their portfolios. So you can get signed up at notebuyingfordummies.com. Now, if you want to gift it to somebody, let me know. We also have gift certificates available. If you want to gift the gift of note investing to somebody this holidays, we've got gift certificates available for you ahead of time. That's kind of nice. Pretty stoked about it, too. We've got a cool discount we're doing on that. Reach out to me at scott@weclosenotes.com, and we'll talk to you about what the gift certificates are if you want to give it to some of your friends or families or other investors out there. But anyway, tonight, guys and gals, it's all about systematizing your due diligence in seconds. And I know many of us, and I speak from experience, if you're brand new, it can be kind of overwhelming. You get a tape in, you're like, holy shit, how am I going to be able to do due diligence on this? You're hunting and pecking, going back and forth from Zillow to Trulia to ePraisal. You're jumping on the county records. You're jumping on Netra online. You're jumping all over the place trying to find a realtor pull comps for you. We're trying to figure out rent rates, what the values, the square footage. It can take a ton of time if you don't know where to look. It can take you hours and hours to break down a spreadsheet if you're not smart about it. How do I know this? Because I did that. Did that for years. Okay, let's Had a whole team, hired 2 people in my office. Okay, here you go. Here's how we do due diligence on the front end. Here's how we dive down. And literally, a God said, I think God opened up the heavens and said, Scott, we're here to help you. And I'm really honored to have this guy. You may have seen him on some of our previous workshops, but I don't want you to hang up. I don't want you to go somewhere, because we've had this guy on a couple of our webinars before. We've had him on our virtual workshop before. You've seen him at Note Camp or a virtual note buying workshop in the past. He was on a couple weeks ago, and he has made some amazing updates to his amazing software that is saving people thousands of dollars on due diligence and saving hours. And for those of you guys out there working a full-time job, it's hard to take away time out of your 40-hour work week and then your family to spend 2, 3, 4 hours breaking down a tape. Well, I'm really excited because what our special guest here tonight is going to save you a ton of time and actually some cool things he's updated his software. So we are honored to have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. JD Bates, join us tonight. What's going on, JD? How you doing, brother?
Hey, guys. Thank you for having me here, Scott. And yeah, man, it's awesome to always be here and be able to share all this work that we have done, which is, totally specifically for you, right? So, and obviously for you, I mean everybody that is watching, everybody who is in the real estate business, right? So yeah, I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, man, we've got this live streaming here with people on here. We've also got it live streaming across all our social media stuff. And you have done tremendous. I mean, you approached me a couple of years ago, said, hey, I'm working on this software with Note Investors. And I was like, okay, great, this works out. And you've got some cool, but I was blown away because you went through some new things 2 weeks ago. And I was literally, oh my God, I've got to have you on here on a Note Night in America. And I got a big kudos to you too. I know you're feeling a little bit under the weather, but you're like, man, I'm going to deliver to the Note family tonight. So I'm going to shut up here and be, I'll be moderating questions. I think you want to share your screen as you go through kind of what you're doing and what NoteProz is. I know we've got a variety of people that have been on here regularly, but we've also got some new people on here too. So let's just kind of start with the basics, JD, and go from there, huh, brother?
Sure. Okay, so I will go ahead and share my screen now. And I'll just go through this presentation that I have just to to have a better understanding, right? We're not going to go through too much time on the slides here, but for those of you that don't know me or don't know what is NoteProz or how we started, is very good for those who are new, right? So just bear with me, guys. All right, guys. So okay, so basically this is our goal, right? So we wanted to build an all-in-one automation platform for Note professionals, right? So I'll just skip this one. Well, let's see. Let's just talk about me for a second here, right?
Feel free to talk about yourself. Okay, it's quite all right, JD. You should talk about yourself because you do an amazing job, brother.
Let's indulge the ego, right, for a second. So, but just for you guys to get to know me a little bit better, if you notice a little bit of accent, that's because I'm from Costa Rica, right? I'm from beautiful Costa Rica. Currently, I'm living all the way down south in Argentina. I've been, I'm pretty young. I just turned 34 last month on September 30th, and I've been working on management positions since I'm 23. So I have 10 years experience in doing, corporate jobs and management jobs and everything else, right? But I always been, super excited about innovation, about creating things, right? So I pretty much just left all the jobs, the last job that I had, and I wanted to start off something for myself. So I started this company called 5 Sigma Technologies. So we basically create, we have people all around the world, right? And what we do is we do business to business services. So we have corporate clients and everything else, right? But what we really like to do is business to customer products. So, if we get really involved with an industry, with a niche, we start seeing opportunities to create tools to improve the business processes for our clients, right? And this is how NoteProz was born, right? We started working with Note investors, a couple of years ago. It's actually one of our oldest needs. And like Scott said, we started with this little tool, and it now has grown to be a super big. It's a pretty big monster, right? So again, we identified a problem, which was how to help our clients with some of the issues that they had with due diligence. Because when we started with Note Investing, it was just about, we started doing websites, we started doing just some general support, and then we actually started, like Scott did, hired people to do due diligence. We actually had dedicated teams of virtual assistants, trying to help with the due diligence with some of our clients. And obviously that's when it came the opportunity, right? So there was an issue on the due diligence and the asset management for note investing and real estate investing in general. So obviously our solution was to create a piece of software for that. And the idea is for us to be able to provide speed on data for half the price and half the time. And we have helped dozens of people achieving these goals, right? So again, our approach is to provide due diligence in bulk. So it's not only due diligence on one or two assets. You can, like Scott said, you have a tape, so you usually get 50, 60, 100, right? So what we provide is speed to do all the due diligence in all of those assets in just a matter of minutes, right? So that's our first approach. Our second approach is for us to provide accurate property reports on demand. So once you have gone through this first due diligence, you kind of sort through what are some of the assets that you actually like on that tape. You have to get some really more detailed on those specific addresses or properties. So we created some solution for that. We wanted to create some business intelligence to generate comprehensive data from your invested portfolio. So once you actually have that asset on your portfolio, so how are you managing it, right? So a lot of people are still doing it the old school way, which works. But here we're going to present to you some of new school, right? So some really cool ways to do it. And the whole idea for this is just to create a digital nervous system, right? So the time reduced in due diligence, I don't know, from our experience, when you do due diligence, if you get a really big tape and you really are doing, each point as you should, usually it takes a day and a half, a day to do it. And it's super crazy and super frantic, right? So that time is going to be reduced with us for, almost 80%, where you can just do your due diligence in 10, 15 minutes, right? The amount of money that you're going to actually save on reportings for those assets that you want to get more data on is about $5,000 a year. And people have asked, how do we get these numbers, right? Well, you just have to go to the competition. Once you see the kind of or platform offers, and then you just have to go to some other companies that offer kind of the same, and just compare the pricing plans and everything else, and that's how basically we got it, right?
The biggest thing I want to throw on here, JD, is you're right about the day and a half. I mean, if you're trying to break down a portfolio of 100 assets and hunt and pecking, it takes time to jump back and forth. And the same thing, if you want to hire a service like we've all done in the past, they're charging you what, $4 to $8 per line item. So if you're looking at 100 assets, that could be $800 really easy without knowing, without breaking down other things as well there, and then waiting 24 to 48 to 72 to 96 hours to get stuff back, because they're waiting on their VAs to do it a lot of times as well too, right, JD?
Totally. And we did so we streamlined all this processes, right? So we know exactly how it was done before, or how it was usually done, which is manually. And anything nowadays that you do manually is you're doing it wrong, right? Now the right way to do things is automation. So
hey, JD, JD, I mean to interrupt you, but you're getting choppy there. So why don't you stop the video on your end and see if that helps with the connection? Just make it audio. Because
sorry. There we go.
Much better.
Yeah. Okay. Great. All right. So So I was on the third point here, to improve your ROI once you get the assets on your portfolio. And basically, we just wanted to help you, do all the heavy lifting while you focus on your goals, right? Which is growing your business, make more money while we kind of provide everything for how to, you know, perform better, right? Performance and performance enhancing, right? All right, so let's go and check out our first module, which is the speed module, which is I called the due diligence module, right? This is a website, NoteProz.com. So let's just log in here right quick. All right. What was my account? This one. All right, so inside our NoteProz, we have 3 modules. And then, like I said, the property data scraper, the property reports, and the asset manager. So the first one that we're going to check out is the property data scraper. All right, guys, so here we have a tape, right? It's just my sample tape. So you usually get a tape like this, right? You get a bunch of data here, a bunch of assets that you have to do your homework on, right? So we just created something really simple, which is just copy paste. You just copy paste the address, address, city, and state. Do not use the zip codes because it won't generate the data. It just doesn't work like that. And you click analyze, and then we're just gonna wait here a couple of seconds. Oh, that was fast. So
boom, just like that.
so as you can see, we're offering a bunch of columns here of data of all the assets that we entered, right? Obviously, you're going to see property data like, you know, bathrooms, finished square footage, the high value and low value, when it was last sold price, tax assessment year, the type of house, the year built, lot square footage, the rental value, right? And then obviously we created some little here. Let me remove this real quick. Some Google Maps integrations where you can see where the property is. Obviously, it's always important, right? So if it is close like this, it's close to another rental. That's right. You have a field here, so these are things that you guys always look into. You know, where's the property located, right? So this is the idea. And if you're in luck, you can actually check out the property's typical street view. In this case, I don't think we will be able to see it because it's kind of like happening in the middle of that. But yeah, so we did the Google integration there, and then also we created a realtors integration, realtors.com, to show you that you can contact, right? So you have no idea how to get realtors in the area. This is a way to do it. Just to note here, guys. Well, this actually before I go to that. So this is the new data that we actually are adding into the scraper, which is, as you can see here, our latest column on the live server or on the live site is realtors. But after realtors, we're adding more city data. Right? So we're adding which county this is in, right? What is the population of this county? Poverty statistics, right? Housing, the occupancy status, the vacancy status, the tenure, the employment, business organizations in the area, job creation, job destruction, job creation rate, job destruction rate. This data, guys, is for you to the first part, which is live now, is for you to get data on the property, and then the second part is for you to be able to get data on the market, right? So where is this property located? Is it in a small town or a big town? You know, is it high poverty or not? Which is the house occupancy status and everything else. So all of this data is, you know, the latest additions that we're adding into the scraper is going to give you a better idea of what is this, right? So where is it located, which is super hard for you guys to get anywhere online, right? It's because we did this. It's not easy to get all this data, even if you go manually search it. But we were able to pull this off, and so you might be able to get a full view of what are the assets in not only the property details, but also their location, right? Their towns, their population, and everything else. So, and we're not only this, guys. This is just what we're almost about to finish to be finished. but also we're going to be adding some, realtors, like actual realtors that handle investors, right? So we're going to be adding a list of realtors that do deal only with investors, because not all realtors know how to manage investors. So we're adding a bunch of new things on the scraper, guys. And this is what I call, speed is most important than most people think. Why? Because first come, first served, usually, right? If you're able to put in a bid before anybody else, and that other investor is taking the usual time, 2 or 3 days to put in their bid, they might miss that opportunity. You put your bid in first, property with a much better thought out offer, and then you're going to be able to get that deal on top of your competition, right?
Now, one thing I want to throw in there, JD, somebody asked the question, why just Zillow? And the reason to that, guys, this is meant to be your upfront due diligence. You're still going to want to reach out to a realtor after your bid's approved. But the whole idea here is to get a lot of upfront due diligence on the front end. So like JD just said, you can make quick bids out. You could sit there and go look at other websites you want, but this is pulling it one side. We all know, if the seller provides their BPO, that's a harder fat number than an online valuation. But this is meant to be online upfront due diligence in helping you speed up and being able to separate things out. Yeah, you're still going to want to put eyeballs on every asset here before you close, and you may want to fade your bid, but this is just taking a look at it there, because Zillow is going to be the most easiest to scrape and pull in everything else to make it all in one spot, right, JD?
Right, and let me add to that I know that I need to add another column for value. So I know that. So that's another feature that we will add in the future. Just a couple more, or at least one or two more value comparisons for the properties. Okay.
Cool, sounds good. And then Kenneth Wiley, I don't have a clue what you're asking. What is the sum of all deals by market location relative to each deal situation? You can reach out to me afterwards and clarify. Guys, keep your questions relevant to what JD's going through, everybody, so we stay on track. Thanks.
Okay. All right, guys. So the idea of the scraper here is be able to hit the sweet spot, right? Between, like Scott was saying, people that were taking 72 hours to get back on some data from their virtual assistants, right? And compared to some other companies that are just way too expensive, right? Some companies, like Scott said, they're going to charge you $4 or $5 per line, or you have to get in bed with them for a year, a couple of years, for a couple of $1,000s, not a couple, like $5,000 or $6,000 a year, right? Plus the each report or each asset that you want to do your due diligence on. So our opportunity was that, right? So there's some companies that will take too long to deliver this some data for the due diligence, and some other ones that were expensive. So we wanted to hit that sweet spot, and we believe we have achieved that. Okay. All right. So before we go, also let me guys show you. This is just the first step of the due diligence. Now we're going to show you, let's say, for example, you did this asset does meet your investment criteria, right? So you do want to get some more info on this property because, it seems that it's a good asset for you to bid on, right? So we actually added some more property reports, right? And for you to get detailed data on the assets that you're interested in, right? So we added 10 reports here. So we added property detail data, detail reports, total view reports, transaction history, lien reports, title chain of liens, sales comparables, tax status, foreclosures, and document images, right? So let's just go through the samples here real quick for each report. So property detail reports, they will give you, some, like I said, detailed information, right? That's what is called the report. So you will get location information, APN numbers, is it occupied or not, the occupancy status, when it was the last transfer and conveyance, last market sale, prior sales information, property characteristics, site information, and tax information. This is a quick overview of the property, right? But I think the most interesting report is the total view report, because the total view report kind of gives you an overview of all the other ones here, right? So it gives you a transaction history, it gives you an open lien, it gives you a kind of like that title chain and lien report, some comparables, taxes, and everything else. So let's just check that out. All right. So this total view report, like I said, it will give you a value range. It will give you a property description, last market sale. Like I said, if it is if there's any active foreclosures or not, if it is currently listed or not, association information, open liens, involuntary liens, prior loans history. Let's go to the next page here. Transfer and conveyances, ownership history, if any, assessment details, and listing history, if any. All right, and then some sales comparables in here, right? So this report is basically, like I said, is a kind of like a comprehensive report of all of these ones. But this ones, they go a little bit deeper, right? So if you want to get really some, really long, detailed transaction history of the report, then you can actually generate the transaction history report, and then you can see for the prior owner, the history with the liens and conveyances and everything else, right? So this one is way more detailed for the transaction history. There's any open liens as well. Again, if there's any open liens and positions, last market transfers, tax information, and then prior year's taxes and assessment details. Okay. Title chain and lien. This one is very, very important for not only note investors, but real estate investors in general, right? It will give you all the detailed transaction, right? From who to who for with the document image, document numbers even, and all the statuses of the transfers. All right. Sales comparables is pretty much the same. It will just give you more. It will just give you more comparables than the total view report. Right? Tax status is also a very good one. We're actually updating this one because this one is updated by cycles, but we actually got by the provider some updated tax status reports that are updated more frequently. And that one is also something that we'll be adding soon. There's any foreclosure reports. You can pull those here. And last but not least, the document images, where you can actually pull the latest transfers and the latest finance reports. All right. All right, guys. So this is the diligence module, as I call it, right? So
okay, we got a question for you, JD. David asks, will I still need a title report if I order a total view report?
That not necessarily. It will show you here. I believe it will show you the title. Like I said, the total view report is basically a crunched in report of all of the other ones. But you can come here. That's why we added the samples. So if there's something that you're looking for specifically, you can go report by report and see what is the data on each report, right? So you can actually go in there and check out how the reports look. And if you see that the title report is the one that you actually need, other than the total view, then you can go ahead and just generate that. So you're able to see what you get before you get it. Any other questions, guys?
We're good right now.
Okay, cool. All right, so right, so that's our due diligence module. So now we're going to go to the asset manager module, which I call it, the digital nervous system, right? Because you're going to get a lot of more data of your assets, right? And I like this quote of Bill Gates because I actually read the book and this kind of like inspired me to create what we're doing here. Is that winners will be the ones that will develop the world-class digital nervous system, so that information can easily flow through their companies for maximum constant learning, right? So let's go ahead and check that out. All right, so all we have to do here is, well, actually, guys, also, you don't have to pull a scrape for you to get the reports. You can actually just go here to the reports page, right? Then you can go ahead and, you know, get any reports that you guys want. All right, just go back here. Oh, you got left out. 1 second, guys. Oh, this is the okay, here we go. Let's go to the asset manager. So the asset manager is actually an independent module, right? So you can actually create accounts for different
LLCs, entities.
Right, exactly. So it's totally independent from the scraper and everything else. So if you want to just sign up for the due diligence module, you can. And if you only want to sign up for the asset manager, you can. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so what is the asset manager? The asset manager is going to help you get an overview and better data of your investment portfolio. So it's very easy to input all the information of your investment portfolio in here. So basically you enter investor information, JVs information, and asset information. And after you enter all of this information in the admin, or once you create it, and then you input all this information on the financial section, is going to start generating a bunch of reports here, right? Also is going to populate this dashboard here, as you can see. It's going to show you the investor investment, the total invested, the profits, the ROI, the total ROI, annualized ROI, how many active and closed notes do you have, right? Also is going to show you, you know, here on the map, you know, where are your assets, right? And you know, a good history chart of the history of your account, right? So what is the value of your account, the net investment, the interest, income, etc., right? So let's just go real quick through this. You can actually give access to your team, right? So if you have somebody, I don't know, a portfolio manager or a virtual assistant, right, that is helping you manage your portfolio, right? You can create an account for them and give them access to the platform, right? Your manage admin. Pure manage investors is where you actually create your investor profiles. And the good thing about not only creating the investor profiles to get information, their investor information in the platform, is that you can actually create a user and password for them. So in the same page that we just logged in, they can actually log into, and they will be able to see all the data related to your portfolio, but only the ones related to them, right? Which we're going to see in a little bit how it looks, right? So I wanted to show you guys something real quick here. So you know, obviously all the information, general information here. You add a password. Just create one password here, and then you can actually save also their bank information, how they're going to get paid, right, and everything else. So you don't have to be scrambling where, you know, where the investor information is at, right? So everything can be processed and centralized in the asset manager, right? You can also upload lender documents and closing statements. So, you know, does the investor wants to get paid by check or not? If there's any notes, you can just save that here, right? All right, guys, and then here also we added a qualified section. So if the investor comes from an IRA or 401k account, you can put those here, okay? All right, and then like I said, if you go to manage investors, you will see a list of all your investors, how much money, you know, they have been given to you for investing, and everything else, right? So here on manage JVs is where you create JVs, right? So on this page, you're going to see, you know, how many active notes are in each JV. If it is, you know, active or deleted or closed, the JV, or you know, does not exist anymore. The total loans, amount loaned, the date, how much profit and ROI that has that JV generated. And you can edit the JV and delete the JV here at any time that you guys want. And then here, manage assets is where you input all your asset information, right? For you guys that have already an existing asset list, we created a bulk upload template. So it still takes a little bit of time to upload, but it's definitely faster than doing it one by one, right? So you will be able to add asset documents. So any documents related to that asset, you can upload them and they will be on the platform. Then that's where you can get them. So again, you have to be scrambling around to get information from other places. Again, you know, if the purchase amounts, the expenses, revenue, profit, ROI, you will be able to get a quick view here on the managed assets. All right. All right, let's go to the financial section here. So like I said, after you have created the investors, the JVs, the assets, the financial section is where you actually input, you know, financial information into each one of those, right? So with the investor cash account, in this section, again, you're going to be see a list of your investors. And here's where you create the financial movements, right? So you can choose a date. You can select an investor because, again, the first investor has to be added to the platform in order to do this. The amount, and then you can select the transaction type, right? To set principal withdrawal, deposit, interest loan payment, enter a demo, and then enter a transaction, and boom. That is going to be reflected immediately on the investor reports and the JV reports, and assets, cash flow, everything else, right? Okay. On the assets, income, and expense, again, this is where all the asset, you know, financial movements will be recorded. So here you will see a list of the assets, of course. And if you click here on create, again, you select the notes. You know, the JV ID will automatically load. You have a transaction type. Is it an income and expense, an asset or reserve? Date, name, amount, general ledger. We added some default ones, but you can actually add your own. And enter a transaction, and bam, that is going to be reflected again on all of the reports down here. Okay. All right, and then a general ledger, like I said, we added default ones, but you can go ahead and add your own here. Just give it a name, and off you go. All right, guys, so let's go to the cooler section of the platform here, which will be the reports. So the investor reports, you will see here a list of your investors again, how many JV groups they're in, the assets, the amount known, the profit, the ROI. But if you click on the statements, here's actually where this is actually the dashboard that the investors will see when they log in, right? So like we said at the beginning, right? They will get, you will give them a password, and obviously you will use their email, and then you can tell them, hey, listen, whenever you want to check out your account with me, just log in into NoteProz, and you will be able to see the status of your reports, right? Of your investments with me. You know, a lot of people still do or only do, you know, monthly or quarterly reports to the investors, you know, with an Excel file and everything else, which is fine. But if you're able to give them that extra amount of confidence, the technology and automation of how you handle your portfolio and your business, it's going to give you a ton of more credibility and not only more order on your, and it's going to give you a lot more credibility as an investor, right? So that was the idea with this one, right? We wanted to create an access for investors to see their numbers with you, right? As when you're creating an investor, you can upload closing statements and investor documents that can be found here. All right. Now let's go to the JV reports. All right, guys. So
I got a couple questions for you before we move into that, JD, if you don't mind, real fast. So David asks, will an AVR be cheaper than NoteProz reports? I'm not sure. It all depends what you're paying for an AVR, automated valuation model. I think it's what an AVM you mean versus R.
Yeah, it depends. I think a lot of people for example, an AVR, they get it like on a sales comparable, right? I believe, or yeah, I think it's different because I don't offer AVRs, but a lot of people, users have asked me if you know, they can use the sales comparables as an AVR, and it's really up to you, right? So again, you guys can go into the platform and see what each report offers, and you can see also the price in here for each of these reports, which we'll touch later on how much each report is. But yeah, it really depends of how much are you paying for those.
Cool. And then we got a question here. Wayne asks, how is this connected to service provider data? Do I manually add each month? Yeah, you're still going to need to upload your service data, but you usually get a download and then upload and just map the fields across, right, JD?
That's right. That's right. Like I said, yeah, you know, you can bulk upload to CSV. This is still a manual phase, and this is not the first time that I hear this. So I'm going to create maybe like an online form or something easier to connect the service data to NoteProz. So I have to figure that out, and like I said, this is not the first time I hear it, so this is something that is still is going through my head as an added service that maybe we can add. Maybe we can add like a done for you services where you just send us the information, then we populate it and manage the asset manager for you, right? I think it's something we could do.
Cool. All right. Awesome.
Okay. All right, guys. So JV reports, again, you can see your reports here as in a little list. Amount loaned, percentage owned, because actually you can also upload your investment in here, right? So there's just a little trick here to do that. But for example, here I did some tests. So okay, so I own these deals, right? I'm not doing a JV with anybody else. So there's a way for you to do that in the platform. Revenue, profit, ROI, et cetera, and then there's a graphic in here, so you can get a visual of your JV's distribution. All right, guys. Then on the assets report here, again, a list of your reports, the address, the documents associated with that asset, the amount loaned, the percentage owned, the revenue, the expenses, the profit, ROI, right? If it was sold, when did you sell it? Representative commissions and fees, if any. You can put all of those in here. All right, guys, and last but not least, the cash flow report. This is probably the most important report for a lot of you, where you can actually, you know, create a cash flow report per investor, per asset, between dates, or by, you know, income, expense, asset, or reserve, right? And then you can go ahead and export this on a CSV, but also you can go ahead and export this on a QuickBooks export, right? So a lot of people use QuickBooks for their financials. So this QuickBooks export is friendly with QuickBooks. So we did that. So all you have to do is download this and upload it to your QuickBooks, and you're good to go. All right, guys. So that's basically it on the platform, guys. That's basically what we do. Oh well, I forgot to mention this, guys. This is kind of like a white label-ish solution. So once you get into the asset manager, you get into the paid version, you can go ahead and upload your own logo. So it's only going to say NoteProz here on the domain on the URL, but you can upload your company logo in here. So it's pretty white label kind of solution in there. Well, like I said, it's going to give you a little bit more credibility with investors and everything else, right? All right, guys. So that is, like I said, that is it for the platform, right? So we created all this platform with our experience dealing with non-investors. How crazy, right? So we just started doing, you know, some services, and now we have an asset manager and like a super detailed, you know, the diligence tool and everything else. But we're still doing what we did at the beginning, right? So what we did at the beginning was, oh, let me go back. What we did at the beginning was, what we did from the beginning, which was, web presence, websites, all of these things for you guys, social media postings and everything else. So we still offer those things to you guys. So you can actually go ahead and check out on noteproz.com/packages some of the bundles that we offer. So we offer bundles where you can get access to NoteProz Premium. We'll do your website, we'll do your social media postings, we'll do some advanced, analytics on your websites and stuff. Try to help you with your conversion rates. So if people, you go to a to a networking meeting or a conference or something else, and then you give out your card and people check your site, and we're going to help you to convert those visitors and try to capture that information somehow, or at least give you a very good credibility once they start checking out your website, your social media profiles and business accounts and everything else. All of these things, guys, are things that are not super important, they're just essential. Now, if you don't have a good, social media or professional web presence, that says a lot from you, right? And a lot of people still don't care much about that, but it is really important. So that's how we started helping you guys. We're still doing that. And now you guys can check that on noteproz.com/packages. All right, but what does all of this means to you guys, right? So it means price is what you pay and value is what you get, like Warren Buffett says here. So let's just go over that, right? How much is it? So the NoteProz Basic is, you can get in there for a $1 trial. So NoteProz Basic is the diligence module, which is the scraper that we did, and the reports, right? The reports have some an added value. Those are on-demand reports, right? Because we don't have all this information on our database, right? So we have to go through vendors. We have to go through some other companies to get them. So there's an extra cost for that, but it's not too much. So again, $1 to get in, and then 3 days later, it's just $27 a month. If you don't like it, you can use it for a day or two. If you don't like it, you can just cancel it. It's only going to cost you $1. The asset manager that we went over, that actually we have a freemium version. So if you have 5 assets or less, you can use it for free forever. Once you have more than 5 assets, so the premium version actually is 5 assets, and then you won't be able to give access to your investors or anything else. But then if you have more than 5 assets and want to get access to your investors, putting your little logo there and everything, that's just $27 a month as well. Nice. So if you want to get both at the same time, the basic and the asset manager, you can just get NoteProz Premium, which is $49 a month. And then we have the bundles, right? Which I said, which is, come to the website, your social media stuff, for $150 or $299 a month, right? And then now let's go over the property, the reporting costs, right? So the reports are $5. The total view is $5, $12. Transaction history is $12. Open liens is $15. Title chain and lien is a little bit more costly. That one is $40. Sales comparables is $10. Tax status is $10. Foreclosure reports is $10. And document images is $10, right? So the whole idea for this is just to improve your investor experience and communication, expedite your due diligence, improve your online presence and cost efficiency, so you can just focus on driving growth on your business. And we believe the cost of the value that we're offering is really going to help anybody who's just starting up into the real estate or note business to be able to automate the processes and be able to see more growth more quickly, right? As if you were just doing it by hand and just starting out and you have a day job and everything else. So we believe that we're going to make your life a lot easier and help you grow a lot faster, right? So, all right, guys, so that's basically it. So again, so the pricing was $27 a month, right? $49 for the premium and everything else. But just for tonight, I wanted to give you guys a nice promo code, which is a 20% discount. So if you use the code we close notes 20%, WCN 20%. You will get a 20% off on everything, not only the subscriptions to the NoteProz Basic and the Asset Manager, but also the reports. So you get a 20% off of everything. Okay, guys.
Wow. How long? And drum roll on how long that discount on everything is.
You said this is going to be forever, right? So I don't know. So obviously promo codes are not forever. So we'll let it up there. But once you sign up, you'll get it forever.
Boom.
I know it's a lot of information, guys. I know it's a lot, but like I said, it's this little baby. It just started with a little scraper, and it just became this little monster here, which we're pretty proud of.
Right. No, and that's the big reason why I want to have you on here. David, is the scraper data in real time? It's whatever the website that they're pulling it from, Dave, is updated to. Okay. You're still going to have to pull numbers at the end. You're still going to have a realtor pull comps for you before you close. This is on the front end, my friend, to help you speed up your offerings versus a lot of people that have overanalyst paralysis, taking that away and helping you identify some things. And then choosing the reports that you want to need. If you want to pull the reports to take a look and see what's out there for you to save you some time. But you still, the idea of this is to reduce, if not eliminate, a lot of your front end due diligence costs so that you can make a lot more offers a whole lot faster and closing a whole lot more deals. Cool.
Correct.
Any questions for JD for him from on here tonight? Now this works with all real estate. If you got a property, it just doesn't have to be on a note portfolio. It's on also all types of real estate, rental portfolio, REOs. You're looking at buying a portfolio for somebody else, a one-off as well there to run some due diligence for you. It's just not on the notes. And I think a lot of people forget about that. So something to think about.
Yeah, exactly, guys. You can, if you're coming out from the regular real estate investing, this is still useful. And yeah, I think that's one of the things that we're trying to make the leap, right? So we want to be able to make the leap from the note space because it does have some usability outside the note space, obviously, like I said, into real estate. So if you're into real estate, this is still useful for you.
Awesome stuff. Any other questions for you guys? NoteProz.com. I'm going to put the link in the chat roll for you all there. Let me put it in here. Come on, chat roll. To all attendees. Once again, if you use the discount code WCN 20%, it'll end up knocking 20% off for you guys. So NoteProz.com, WCN 20% is the discount code there for you. Now we had a question. I think it was a question from somebody asked a question about the what was it? The websites. Let's see. Well, maybe not. Maybe they took it off. Somebody's asking a question about the websites. If they've got a previous website with Six Sigma, is there an additional charge to go in and update that? Update their previous website?
No, maybe not. It really depends of what previous website it was. Like if it is one of the old websites that we did for notes, and then you wanted an upgrade, it will definitely be a lot cheaper than if we just started from fresh.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it will be cheaper.
It'll be a price for upgrading depending on what it is. Like Deb's, yeah, here's the question. Will the website redesign apply to previous prepared designs by Five Sigma? Deb, reach out to JD. We all know that there's different platforms, different stuff like that. So there'll be a cost. But if you've got most of your stuff already done, it might be an easy upgrade, but it's all going to be dependent on the website and what, how old it is, right, JD?
Right. Yeah, just contact me, jd@noteproz.com. And then, because it really depends, right? So for each specific case. So just shoot me an email, jd@noteproz.com. And then we can chat maybe a little bit tonight, or we can do a call tomorrow. And not only about websites, about anything else. So if you have a question about the platform or anything, or I don't know, how's the weather or something, you just let me know.
Tony asked a question, does NoteProz have a VA training modules? Do they want to train their VA to be able to do the due diligence?
You know what? We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll go ahead and train your VAs and everything else. If you jump into the platform, I mean, if if you're a user of the platform, I don't care if it is you or if it's your VA, will help you learn how to use the platform.
One of the biggest things I'm going to throw in my opinion on that, Tony, is you're getting a lot of information here. You should still go through a couple tapes and record how you want to view the due diligence more than anything else. What are the states you're looking at? You still have to train your VAs to see exactly what you're looking for. That's
Right.
the one thing. So like what JD will record videos how to use NoteProz, you're ultimately going to still have to make those decisions and clarifications with your VA. Here's what we get rid of. Here are the states we don't buy in. Here's the red flags we want to look for. Those are important things to keep in mind that you have to share yourselves. No module, no system is going to work as good as until you sit down and go through a little bit. And if you're going to train a VA, I only speak from voice of experience here. You still got to share with your VAs what the red flags are, the pros and cons of what you're looking at. And it all depends on the spreadsheet too, because we know they all can change and vary depending on what's coming out. And
it depends on your investment criteria too, right? Because for some people, might be good one things, and then for other people, they don't really care about some data. So we present you the data available, and then you are the one that choose how to interpret that data or how to strategize with that data.
Yep, good stuff. Any other final questions before we let him get back to his Nicaragua nights?
Some rum. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have rum.
There you go. Good tobacco. Good cigars down in Nicaragua, though, correct?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Pretty good stuff. I got a couple up here. So, all right, JD. Well, hey, buddy, thank you so much for coming on Note Night in America here and sharing stuff. I know I get excited about. Bill Griesmeyer is a big fan. He says great customer service. You guys always answer questions. Always glad to help out there. Laura Blanc has mentioned that as well, too. Is she on here tonight? Yes, Laura's used NoteProz quite a bit, too, in the past. I'm a big fan. Love what you're doing. You're always editing, always updating the software. And kudos to all the things you're adding on there to really be the one-stop shop for everybody.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. And again, just let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be glad to get in touch with any of you.
Perfect, man. JD, take care, buddy.
Have a good one, guys.
Thanks. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for Note Night and American Night. Go to NoteProz.com. That's NoteProz.com, and use the code WCN20%, WCN 20% to knock off your lifetime 20% off the service. Right there, guys, saving you money off your due diligence on the front end. Save time, save you money. You just got to go out and make more offers and go find the deals. Go take action, everybody, and we'll see you all at the top, everybody. Bye.